combined 11 time, as this weekend we face Man City at the dump that is the Etihad. And this is going to be a completely and utterly unbiased combined 11, which you won't see on other channels, so to speak. We'll start with the goalkeepers. Ederson, De Gea or Stefan, who's American by the way. And I'm going to pick Ederson. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. He's been a revelation ever since he was at Man City, after Pep replaced the other goalkeeper with him. Now, De Gea fanboys get the knickers in a twist because people criticise him, and they also, with their chest, say that De Gea is the top goalkeeping saving expert in the Premier League. But you wouldn't see Ederson top one of those lists. It's not something you should be proud of, and not something that should be written in your history books. Because a goalkeeper at Man United should never ever be atop of those stats. It shouldn't happen in a month of Sundays. So Ederson gets the nod for me. Right back. Kyle Walker, it's got to be. Delo's had a resurgence, granted, under Ralph, but I've always rated Kyle Walker, and I think I've always put him in, because I've been doing these combined Man United, Man City 11s at right back. I've been a fan of his ever since his Spurs days. Not the sharpest tool in the box, has to be said, with some of what he does off the pitch, but on the pitch he gives a 9 out of 10 virtually every single week. He's professional. He's got pace, he can defend in equal measure as well as attack and cross, something Wan-Bissaka could never do. So yeah, exceptional right back. And I will take him at Man United because he's that good. Left back is going to be Cancelo. Now, he had a slow start in his first season, but since then he's got better and better and better. And he's one of the first names on the Man City team sheet. And he's been a revelation. Fantastic for them. And he gets goals and assists. Something that Porky Pig and Tellez could only dream of. Centre backs. Diaz is going to be one of the two. In his first season he won the Footballers' Writers' Year of the Award. We could have got him at Man United, but instead of that, we go, because Top Reds and Man United love British players, we got Maguire, not for 80 million, it was 85 million. And it's even worse than it is already when you add another 5 million to it. So, our transfer policy, we become amateurish in the transfer market. And that's not what Man United used to be. We used to buy the best, not just of British, but of foreign as well. Those days are long gone, unfortunately. And he's one of the best centre-backs in modern history, and he will be a Premier League great as the years go on, at his exception. The next one is going to be Varane. He's had a few shaky moments the last couple of weeks, but I think him and Diaz would form an formidable partnership, and it would scare not just teams in the Premier League, but teams around the European circle to boot. So that's back four sorted. Now, I've put McTominay in all of these combined 11s, but it would be remiss of me to put him in ahead of Rodri. I think McTominay is a fantastic player. I do. Would he start for Man City? No. That's my honest answer. But he's not as bad as some claim him to be. But Rodri can do that midfield role all in his own. I think he's fantastic. He is. Didn't cost them much. And when you hear him speak, he's very professional. He's very detailed. He knows about details. He knows exactly what he's doing. You see, he's got presence blood. Not like Nicolas Pepe, because they don't play in the same position. But anyway, great player. So he's going to command that number 6 role. Next in line is going to be Gundogan. Now, if you remember years and years ago, we were linked with Gundogan when he was at Borussia Dortmund. He went to Man City and he got an injury which delayed his starting berth for Man City. And I remember Sky Sports News saying on an eve of a night that we were going to get him, and then it was debunked a couple of hours later, and that shows how terrible Sky Sports News is. It was great back in the day, but now the competition have caught up, and they're many times better than Sky Sports News and their presenters. So an own goal for Sky Sports News there. And he's a fantastic player, I kid you not. Next up is going to be Kevin De Bruyne. He's had a kick at the backside. You know, he hasn't been the De Bruyne of yesteryear, but now he's back to his best. And Pep challenged him, and he's worked on his game, De Bruyne. And Pep came out and said that De Bruyne not used much before he was back in form because he can't play against a low block. He can play when teams attack. He got a goal against Chelsea to win them the game. He got a couple of goals against Leeds, and they thrashed them 7-0. 1 goal more than Liverpool got against them at Scunfield. He's better than Bruno. Anybody who tells me any different are lying to themselves and just trying to be controversial for controversy's sake, because saying Bruno's better than De Bruyne is controversial. De Bruyne is going to get another Premier League. He might win the Champions League for the first ever time. You know, De Bruyne got to a semi-final of the Euros back in 2016. Bruno's never got to a semi-final of the Euros. And he might not even make the World Cup, Bruno. So there you go. But we know there's loads of fanboys of Bruno dotted around YouTube and elsewhere as well. But I've never rated Bruno. I was the first person to criticise Bruno. And I really get annoyed when people take credit for saying it first. I think you find that I did. So there you go. So next up, Ronaldo up top. Man City wanted him. We beat them to the punch. He was actually their second in command because they wanted Harry Kane first and foremost. Next is going to be Phil Foden. I think he's a fantastic player. When he did what he did in Iceland, the boy became a man, and he took it as a positivity for the backlash he got, and rightly so. His partner in crime, that monster Greenwood, yeah, you heard right, YouTuber Top Reds, that monster Greenwood, I repeat it for those hard of hearing at the back, crumbled. And Phil Foden, I think he's only about, what, 20, 21? He's won a couple of Premier Leagues. He's won the domestic treble, didn't he? And he could win the Champions League for the first ever time. He glides. He's got everything in his game. Does himself fuzz badly. Hardly gets injured. Roams around. Didn't have a very good Euros, so to speak. But it was pushed back a year. If it was when it should have been on, then I think he would have done a hell of a lot better. So I'm a fan of this. He's better than Greenwood. I've always said that. So there you are. And finally, going to be Bernardo Silva. Again, another exceptional season he's had. So let's recap. De Gea in goal, Edison in goal. Right back, Kyle Walker. You can tell I'm Russian, can't you? Left back, Cancelo. Centre backs, Diaz, Varane. Number 6 role, whatever that is. Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo. So there you go, unbiased and to the point. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back later on in the week for the preview ahead of the match on Sunday.